At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
Hour number 3 after further review here on a Thursday, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Musso anchoring the final day of coverage here on AFR from Atlanta, SEC Football Media Days 2025. We've been bringing you everything that Matt put together here on Thursday as the crew flies home from Hotlanta, from the ATL. Great hour 3 ahead. We have John Nabors talking Arkansas. Of course, John covers Arkansas for Inside Arkansas and the Locked On Razorbacks podcast. Arkansas is one of the teams that closed out the day. We'll replay our conversation with Whit Weeks from earlier in the media day session as well. So that's coming up also. And Matt, he took a trip over to Pate State and sat down with Josh Pate. Talked all things SEC. Bring you that conversation right now.
Final day here from SEC Football Media Days. Josh Pate, the appropriately named Josh Pate's college football show, CBS Sports. How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm Thursday. They tell me it's Thursday.
I haven't been outside in 3 days.
But you get a lot of social credit in the SEC if you're still here and just pounding out stuff on Thursday, because it is, like, as we're standing here, yeah, there's helmets behind us, but if you got the view me and Matt have, you can tell who's still here. There are a lot of empty chairs down there, a lot of credentialed empty chairs down there.
The herd has thinned out dramatically, but you've done awesome stuff here. I wanted to ask you just your media origin story, because what you've done is incredible, and I think it's indicative of what media has become and who's winning here now.
Dude, I try and tell the story as much as I can without being obnoxious, not because I want to brag. I want to make sure people know you can actually do it. Inevitably, knowing your audience, there are a lot of college-age guys and girls watching this who may even be like in J school somewhere, but they're wondering, is there really a path for me? I don't care if you're not in J school. Yeah, there's a path for you. Now, there's no shortcut to it. There's not going to be that. But if you think back 10 years ago, well, think back 15 years ago, you had overhead and distribution as these permanent barriers between people like me, at least, and having a national college football presence. By that, I mean you turned on CBS, Fox, ESPN, and you had to be in a fancy studio, and you had to have those networks that have the big distribution deals putting you on their set. Otherwise, you were never going to be seen at the same time in New York, LA, Miami, and Seattle. Nowadays, we're talking on a phone. There's the overhead. This phone, it's whatever this phone costs, and then also the distribution this is the internet. So as long as you've got access to the internet, as long as you've got a Wi-Fi connection, that's the distribution. I don't think people understand. You just cut billions of dollars out of what used to stand between people like us and theoretically a national audience. Now at that point, the $1 million question still is, why would anyone care what you have to say? If you can answer that in the affirmative, if you do actually have an opinion that people care about, if your view of whatever it is you're talking about, politics, food, sports, is something people care about, you can actually do it. And then the other, I don't know how you feel, but like a decade ago, I looked around and said, if I'm an NFL fan, they got 37 shows for me. If I'm an NBA fan, I got 37 shows for me. I'm a college football fan. Where was the national, legit college football talk being served? It really wasn't all that much. So I said, well, if we can do it now, let's start a channel on our own. Mm-hmm. And we did, and there was a huge appetite for it, and there still is, and there always will be. It's just, now you can do it.
Did you have an inflection point, a moment where you realized, oh, this is going to work.
Oh, slam dunk, 2019 LSU. As that run starts to happen, because I picked them to win the West in the preseason.
Okay.
And it was not popular to do that in 2019 now, preseason. And so the first place that our audience ever started to scale outside of the Georgia market where I was living was Baton Rouge. It was Louisiana. And so then LSU goes on that run. I feel like I was on the team. Like I feel like I took that ride with them.
That was a fun ride.
All the way through to New Orleans, and it's I don't know. I mean, I like to think that eventually it would have happened. I don't know what would have happened had that LSU groundswell not happened and us not have been kind of, I look at it as a surfer riding the wave instead of being buried. Everyone else got buried by that wave. I feel like I rode that wave. And then CBS noticed the channel because LSU fans blew the channel up. And then we start and we go work for them. And then COVID hits and we were, I guess, not dumb enough to stray away from college football and talk about other stuff. And it just, ever since then, man, our audience has scaled, if not more severely, at least as steeply as it started to. Because there's a limitless, well, there's a limit, but virtually speaking, there's a limitless amount of people who just want like college football talk. They actually want that with all the other stuff filtered out.
As evidenced by everyone being here this week and talking college football, Josh Pate. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Josh Pate's College Football Show. We come here and there's always narratives. I always tell our audience, like, local market people know the team they cover deep. I know all 85 scholarship players in LSU. I have a surface level knowledge of the rest of the league, but I come here to get a deeper understanding of the rest of the league. When you come here, is there something that you hope to gain like that from this week?
I think you and I were talking about this before we hit record. It really helps to talk to what I would call the infrastructure administration on these staffs, which is a lot of the SID guys, a lot of the sports information director and people who work under them, because that lets you, it kind of gives you an idea if they trust you and they'll confide in you about anything that here's what you need to know. That's not, here's something that you need to go and tell your national audience. It's here's something that you could use so you don't say something stupid. Here's a little more context to why we're doing this with a personnel grouping. Here's why this guy's not starting the first 4 games of the year, that kind of thing. The other part is I always love to just gauge what do people actually think. And walking around here this week, or if you're at home just listening to stuff, reading magazines, I look around and I think about, wow, it's crazy. How many fan bases seem to have viewed 2024 as the appetizer, and 2025 is just going to be the main course? Like last year was okay only because it's within the context of taking the next step this year. I think LSU absolutely feels like that. I think Georgia, albeit an SEC champion, their fans still feel like there's a next step to be taken. Bama certainly feels like that. South Carolina feels like that. Florida feels like that. A&M feels like that. So you go half the conference deep. Auburn feels like that. Half the conference deep of teams that fan bases are just thoroughly convinced, well, we'll take a step this year. Okay, well, the math dictates there aren't enough wins to go around. So my question leaving an event like this is, do we really understand what 8-4 means? Because 10 years ago, it meant something way different than it means now. Do we understand what 9-3 means? Because 10 years ago, it meant something way different, especially for an elite program, than it means now. I just think there's going to be some really uncomfortable conversation around a really good coach or two that happens to go 7-5 because they got bit by the injury bug. They were -2 in one possession games, and someone else was +4, and there's really no difference in the teams, but the record looks way different. We are inevitably headed for that in November.
Do you have a strong feeling about that cluster of teams you just mentioned that last year was the appetizer for the main course? Do you have a strong feeling about one of those teams maybe taking that next step?
I think A&M and Alabama, I feel good that Alabama will be better than last year's team. Whether that means a better record, we'll see. I think Texas A&M will pretty solidly be better than they were last year. And I think it will be one of the most boring teams to watch in the league. I think the style of play is such that you don't really know about them. Unless you're an A&M fan, I don't think like Marcel Reed will be a household name. I don't think Reuben Owens will be a household name. He could be a 1,000-yard back. They got a couple of them that could do that. But I love that they go play Notre Dame early this year, because I think out of all the teams down here, the one that's got the best shot of emulating what Notre Dame did last year is A&M. You look at the style of play, and you just keep waiting on them to lose. Yeah. And they're a bowling ball in a world of 215-pound linebackers that maybe 10 years ago the style wouldn't have been conducive to going 10-2, but maybe this year it does. I think the one team that looks like it could scale Like if the fan base is right about what the team could be, it's Texas. Because Texas, the roster's loaded. That's the one with the question mark at quarterback that has legitimate, like, star potential. Like, if he goes off, if Arch goes off, he'll really go off.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson's not going off at Alabama. Gunnar Stockton's not going off at Georgia. Those guys at their best are going to be really, really good decision-making role players. Let the guys around you help you win. So it just feels to me like we're headed for the NASCAR race kind of thing where there are 10 cars in the lead pack. They're all going 193. Whoever's going to 193.2 at the finish line, like that's who edges out a win.
It's a great way to put it. Josh Pate, give me a thought, if you would, on LSU.
All right, so I'm cautiously optimistic that they addressed what would have otherwise been pretty glaring holes with portal guys. I am very confident that I can count on Baker to do the same thing with defense year 2 that Lynn is doing at USC. I think it's egregious that you were ever in a position to need that. I think it's egregious that you could ever be in a position at LSU where you're saying, we can't run the ball. Bama dealt with that last year. Georgia dealt with that last year. They're not alone, but I think it's egregious to have splits that are that severe. I think it's unfair if you do that again and you look at Nussmeier and say, if we're going to win, you need to carry us to a win. Because I don't think the quarterback should ever have to do that. You may have one like Burrow who can do it if need be, but he should never have to do it. I listened to Brian when he came in here Monday, and he talked about how much focus there is on the Week 1 game. A lot of that's just words to me, because it's not like they didn't take Week 1 seriously last year. Just like we're more committed to running the ball. Those are words. Fundamentally, what has changed? I'm not leading the program, so I'm asking that in a legitimate question-based style. If that stuff's changed, like if you raised the hood on LSU and you saw this, and this has fundamentally changed since last year, they'll be in Atlanta. That's the biggest variance team to me. LSU's the biggest variance team because it's the biggest example of a team where technically there are a lot of unknowns, or a lot of question marks really, that if it's a green check mark, that's a 10-2, 11-1. If it's an X, that's like 6-6, bottom falls out, everyone wants the coach fired sort of thing. So that's entertaining for me. It's nerve-wracking once you get inside the bubble, I know.
It's fascinating because the talent's there.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of unknowns about how the talent blends together. Josh Pate, appreciate you for doing this, man.
I appreciate it, man.
AFR.
Hotel and the Renaissance Hotel, 2 beautiful hotel properties in Baton Rouge, the Watermark downtown, the Renaissance Southtown right there on Bluebonnet. And when it comes to hosting your event, both the Watermark and the Renaissance are perfect. The Watermark is a gorgeous, elegant spot in downtown Baton Rouge. That wedding reception, that smaller gathering, that meeting space, they can do it. They've kept so much of the history and tradition of that iconic building while modernizing it. The Gregory is a great restaurant inside of the Watermark as well. And then, of course, the Renaissance Hotel, Southtown, right there on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. It's more modern. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous hotel property at the Renaissance Hotel where they have meeting space that can accommodate up to 500 people, 7,000 square foot of meeting space, perfectly located right off of Bluebonnet and I-10. It's the Watermark and the Renaissance Hotels in Baton Rouge.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com. Live from the 2025 SEC Football Media Days, powered by Parish Construction and Roofing. Enter now for your chance to win $10,000 cash at parishbuilt.com. Our coverage is also presented by Rev and Relief Windows.
Wrapping up our coverage from SEC Football Media Day, he is John Nabors, good enough to join us on a day that the Hogs took their turn. The thing that shocked me is how much roster turnover Arkansas has. Did I read 51 new players? Why?
I think it's a question Razorback fans have been asking. It's almost the same as what it was a year ago. It's basically 2 years in a row now Arkansas has been the team that has lost the most players in the portal. And that's a problem. I mean, that's one of the things that Sam Pittman has talked about when it comes to the retention of players and everything. But this year was a little bit different because it certainly felt that it's just because they couldn't afford them. They couldn't afford Luke Haas to stay at Arkansas, or Jalen Braxton, or any of those guys ended up playing at other SEC schools. And, you know, that's a bad look. So I think that in the day of age of NIL and, you know, kind of pay for play, Arkansas just decided that they didn't want to go that route and not compete that way, so they went a different route.
What route did they go?
Moneyball, you ever seen the movie?
Sure.
That route.
So what's the strategy? Is it like JUCOs or FCS players, more high school? What?
It was basically going to any school that had, say, like, for instance, Omega Blake, which was a nice get. He was a wide receiver out of Charlotte. Smaller school, but needing to take that next step. And there were some other SEC schools involved, but Arkansas was able to kind of go in more on him when it comes to their budgeting of NIL. So they decided to take that. But then there's other cases where, like Jaden Platt for Texas A&M, he was a tight end. He never played. But he was 4-star coming out of high school. He's a big, able body. So they're like, well, let's get him in as maybe a potential starter. Of course, LaCroix, who is a offensive lineman from Oregon, didn't play a snap. He was a 4-star player, big-time player. Didn't play a single snap for Oregon last year, but he's big. And so they're like, hey, you can come here and be a starter. So it's basically trying to find backups at other major schools and get guys from smaller schools that are kind of up and coming and being upperclassmen.
Where are the NIL funds?
Well, the NIL funds could potentially be there, but in my opinion, I just don't think that Arkansas has an administration right now that hasn't ever embraced NIL, doesn't want to embrace NIL, and instead of being aggressive, tries to be the smartest people in the room where, oh no, revenue share is going to come in, it's going to take care of it. I don't know if they understand that everybody has revenue share, and it's the same amount, but that's not going to even the playing field because, as I've made the example many times before, John Calipari, for instance, knows John Tyson. And Tyson Chicken's a big deal, and I doubt that Cal, with the revenue sharing, come in and say, hey, Johnny T, just keep your money, man. I'm not going to need it anymore. I don't need it for players. That's just not the case. It's what's going to happen. You got to be aggressive. So I feel like Arkansas and the administration really kind of set Pittman up for failure a little bit because it just doesn't seem like they're very aggressive in those antics of like other teams in the SEC, especially other schools like Ole Misses of the world where you feel like you should be on the even playing field. Arkansas just hasn't done that this year.
John Nabors inside Arkansas. So what they do have is Taylon Green coming back. I think it surprises people to know Taylon Green was 10th in the country in passing yards. I mean, there were some really big games. What is the expectation for the next step for Taylon Green?
Well, everybody has looked at Bobby Petrino being the offensive coordinator, and if you look at his numbers whenever he's had a quarterback from year 1 to year 2 in their improvement, it's dramatic increase. I mean, incredible increase in every way. Yardage, touchdowns, completion percentage, lowering interception rates. So I think a lot of people are expecting and hoping that that's going to be the case for Taylon. He takes that next step under Petrino, but he's got a whole new roster around him. He's got new weapons, different weapons from a year ago. Running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, even offensive line is very different. So that's going to be an element that's going to be fascinating. But he's you probably saw him walking around. He's massive. He's a tall guy.
Yeah.
And he's got speed. He's got athleticism. He's got touch on his ball. He is the type of quarterback that you want to have in this league and that can win you games on your own. If you don't have the talent across the board to beat some big teams, he's the type of talent by himself that can just be a nightmare for some other teams, and that's really where the hope's going to come from. He's got to keep those turnovers down. He's turned it over way too many times last year. If he does that, he could be one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC at the end of the day.
Was it a surprise, considering the roster turnover, that Taylon Green stayed?
I wouldn't say it was a surprise. It was more about, are people leaving because they don't want to play with Taylon? There was a little bit of a question of that. Like all the wide receivers bounced out, there was these reports, and I say reports like this because they were kind of unsubstantiated, that there were some wide receivers didn't like playing with Taylon because they didn't like the way he was throwing and all these things. But I'm not surprised because I think they all went on Taylon, and Petrino, for his credit, when he was first hired as the offensive coordinator at Arkansas 2 years ago, Sam Pittman said, hey, go get your quarterback. If it's here already, then we'll take it, but go get who you want. And that was the first quarterback that Petrino wanted from Boise State. He said, I want Taylon Green. So there's a connection there. There's a respect there. And I think that, I mean, it's about money and all that stuff, but man, being the starting quarterback of an SEC program is always going to mean something to somebody.
Arkansas was a 500 team a year ago. Walk me through the schedule through the eyes of someone who covers Arkansas and what's significant about the slate.
It's the most absurd thing. I don't know who made this schedule. Listen, you can't help your SEC schedule. Like that's just what gets set up for you. But in the SEC, Arkansas has 4 road games, as we all know, most teams do, against Ole Miss, LSU, Tennessee, and Texas. Those are 4 college football playoff caliber teams right there.
It's tough.
On the road. And then your home games, more manageable against Mississippi State, Auburn. Finally get Texas A&M out of Arlington. You get them at home.
Oh,
so which
y'all
is nice.
are fired up about that.
Oh, yeah, thank goodness.
Everybody was ready to see that.
Just should have been put out the pasture like old Yeller a long time ago. But they got Missouri at the end of the year at home, too, which they can't win that game either. So, it is what it is. But then you have Notre Dame at home this year. You get them at home. You go to Memphis for some reason. No idea why.
Is that a 2-for-1?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know why, but you do.
I agree with you. There's no reason for Arkansas ever to go to Memphis.
Yes,
but
and then
explains why they did it.
You play Arkansas State for the first time ever in history in Little Rock at War Memorial Stadium, which I hope it's the last time that game's in Little Rock and that any game's in Little Rock, and I hope it's the last time we play Arkansas State. So I don't know if LSU fans can agree.
Take a wrecking ball to War Memorial Stadium.
Please. So it's a brutal schedule. You are going to be playing at minimum 5 college football playoff caliber teams, and 3 of those teams were in the college football playoff last year. So not a very easy schedule to navigate.
You and I spoke last year in Dallas, and you said something to me that I didn't know or hadn't considered, so it stuck with me. You talked about Sam Pittman, and your feeling was that he might retire after last season. I think the hot seat question has been there, but you went a different way. It wasn't necessarily a hot seat. It was more, is he ready to? The schedule may force the administration's hand, however the season goes, but same question again this year. Is it hot seat? Is it the last year for Sam Pittman on his own accord?
I mean, last year I felt fairly confident that it could be something that happened. I'm telling you right now, if we're having this conversation a year from now, I just don't think Sam Pittman's going to be the head coach. Whether it's him stepping down or even if they have a good enough season to where whoever is the administration, whoever's the AD says, so we'd like to have you back, I just don't know even if he will come back. So I just think this is the last hurrah for Sam Pittman, and it's nothing against him personally or anything, but Razorback fans, I tell you this, Matt, I've grown up a Razorback fan. I grew up in Arkansas, I've covered Arkansas, everything. This is the least excited I've ever seen Razorback fans about football, and it's wearing thin on a lot of people, and it's wearing on the administration financially with the boosters and everybody. It's wearing thin, so I would just be really shocked if a year from now at SEC Media Days that we're not talking about a new head coach that Arkansas just hired.
Hogs do come to Baton Rouge this year. You want to learn more, of course, inside Arkansas. He is John Nabors. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you, man.
We're brought to you by Supper Club. You can book your reservation, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. One of the things about Supper Club that I love is if you want to go to Supper Club and be a baller, you can do it. You want to go to Supper Club and order a $5,000 bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, you can do it. You want to go have $400 shots of cognac, you can do it. You can have experiences at Supper Club that usually are reserved for Las Vegas and New York and Paris and Abu Dhabi. Like, that's here in Baton Rouge. But the thing you got to remember as well, if you want to go to Supper Club and have the best steak of your life and have a few appetizers, a dessert, bottle of wine, you can do it as affordably as any other restaurant in town. But the experience at Supper Club is unmatched. Introduced open seating at the bar, first come, first serve. So if you knock off of work, you want to head by Supper Club, you can walk in without a reservation, see if you can grab a bar stool or a table by the bar as well. Have a great dinner, maybe cocktail, close some business. Book your reservation, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com.
All right, rolling along here on a Thursday edition of After Further Review, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, bringing you coverage from Atlanta. SEC Football Media Days, day number 4, the final day of the event. It's been a great show so far. We still got a little bit more to come. So stay here, and we'll bring you more next here on AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, do what injured people in Louisiana have done for more than 30 years. Call Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. 888-8888. It's all 8s. 888-8888. I don't even need to give you the area code because no matter where you are in the state, it doesn't matter. Just dial 888-8888 for Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Gordon does an awesome job, man. He's a great person. They've been so invested in our communities with all the charitable and service work that they do. They give back into the communities that they represent, no matter what time of year. If it's the bike giveaway for kids around Christmas time, if it's the laptop giveaway around back to school time, if it's the charitable work they do during October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, they're always involved in the community. We tell you all the time, of course, about the G Team and what Gordon's done with NIL and the opportunities that he's afforded student athletes. Just a great, great community partner. If you've been injured, you need representation, go to getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com. Live from the 2025 SEC Football Media Days, powered by Parish Construction and Roofing. Enter now for your chance to win $10,000 cash at parishbuilt.com. Our coverage is also presented by Rev and Relief Windows.
Brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawbillsTire.com. 18 locations in South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you at ShawbillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. They will always find a way to get you the best possible price for the best possible tires on the road. That's what they do at Shawbills. And when they get you in by selling you the best tires, the cheapest price possible, they're going to treat you like family, and they're going to treat you so good you're going to keep coming back year after year after year every time you need anything for your vehicle. Tires rotated, oil changed, check engine light on, brakes squeaking, whatever's wrong with your vehicle, bring it to Shawbills. Let them give it the once-over, and you can always schedule online, so it's convenient. ShawbillsTire.com. Find the location nearest you at ShawbillsTire.com. Shop tires online at ShawbillsTire.com. Be sure to ask about the Shawbills credit card as well, because you can save $50 off your first purchase when you use the Shawbills credit card only at Shawbills.
Back here from Radio Row, SEC Football Media Days 2025, Day 1. LSU Tigers taking their turn. All SEC linebacker Whit Weeks joining us here. How are you, man?
Doing good.
Good.
Doing good.
Dude, your energy's awesome today, man. And this is the end of the day for you.
Yeah.
Like, you got off the plane smiling. Did you just smile all the time?
All the time.
I love it, bro.
All the time.
Where does that come from?
Probably my parents, just the way I was raised. Having a good attitude makes life a lot more fun.
Damn right it does, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's so admirable, man. You just don't always see young people that are just like always smiling, dude. I mean, you are. Like, you're always a happy, energetic guy. Does that play well in the locker room?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Because people know that I'm always going to be a guy that's bringing that energy every single day. So say they don't have the best energy, they know when they see me, guess what? They're going to have to raise their energy level.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I talked to Chris Hilton a bit ago. I think y'all usually go eat steaks. Are you a steak guy?
Of course.
Okay, that's the right answer. What cut?
I love a ribeye.
Okay.
I love a ribeye.
That's what I'm talking about. What temperature?
Medium rare.
Every
time.
See, Chris,
every time.
Chris told me he wanted a filet medium well. I'm like, just order a hamburger, Chris.
Yeah, just order a tire.
I said, that's what I said, man, look, they're paying for it. Get a tomahawk ribeye medium well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, medium rare. Like, come on, man. Do it right. Get the big bone on it and everything like that, too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you've been asked 100 times, but for our audience, how you feeling after the injury?
Good. Really good. I mean, I feel like I'm back to myself, and I give all the credit to our training staff and strength staff. I mean, they spent countless hours with me this offseason, probably more than they would want to spend when I'm in there. Hey, we got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do this. And they really took a lot of time out of their days to spend with me. So I couldn't be more thankful for the staff that LSU has in the training room and in the strength in the weight room.
Yeah, man. Is that the first time you've been hurt in your career?
It is, yes.
Yeah. What's it like going through that?
I feel like it was a little different for me because it was the bowl game. So we were in the off season afterwards. So it wasn't like I was missing time. I missed 2 quarters of football, which obviously I wish I could have played. But it's a long journey. It is a long journey to get back. I wasn't walking for 7 weeks, almost 2 months. I was in a scooter, and it's tough. It's tough mentally, but I had a lot of good support around me. Harold Perkins, especially, he was, because he was still coming off of his ACL. So any day that I had in rehab where I would maybe be a little down, he's there. Hey, keep your head up. Like, we're going to get through this. We're going to be out there in August. Don't worry. Like, we're going to be back.
Did going through
All right, sorry about that. Again, a couple technical difficulties there. Should kind of wrap up the day here. Get you back to that interview with Whit Weeks. I know last time we played this interview, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but it was a great conversation between Matt and the LSU linebacker, especially the part they're getting in there to right at that moment about Harold Perkins and the support that he provided Whit Weeks. I mean, those two are going to be looked at to carry this LSU defense, man. I mean, I look, you like what LSU added at each level, obviously, of the defense, but the linebacking core, I mean, it's hard to not look there and go, that's going to be the strength of this unit, whether it's both Weeks brothers, West and Whit. Obviously, you'll kick Perkins out to the star position, and, man, you got to love what you saw from Devon Keys, obviously, a year ago as well, and he'll be back. So, I mean, in the depth you have behind them with the young guys like Charles Ross and Jaden Breaker. So, I mean, when I look at this LSU defense, I look and go, yeah, I love the edges that they brought in, Payton, Pyburn, Butler. Obviously, you love what they've done in the secondary. The linebackers, to me, that's the strength. And really, it's the secondary that you look at and go, okay, yeah, you brought in all those guys from an LSU perspective, Halsey and Cooley, and, I mean, Pickett comes in as a 5-star recruit. You add Mansour Delane and whatnot. Jordan Gilbert's healthy. And you look at that on paper and you go, man, you feel really good. And again, you got the depth with Spears and Toviano and Joel Rogers and all that. But still, I look at the secondary and I go, okay, they're going to have to prove it, though, right? I mean, the LSU secondary, the safety position, really was a struggle a year ago. And you had injuries, but ultimately, you just didn't have the talent level that you do this year. But even as good as you can feel about that, you have to still see them go out there and actually show it. So for me, it's easy. The linebackers are the strength of this team, and I just realized that I was probably echoing that entire time. I should have put my headphones on, but I had them just around the microphone. Good for me. Sorry about that, but we'll get you right back now to the Whit Weeks conversation.
Team guy, I know, but you're individually going to be up for everything this year. Is that something that motivates you?
No. I think my motivation comes, this is a team sport. And that's why I love playing football, is I play for the man next to me. I play for the brotherhood. And our goal is to win the national championship, and that's my goal. The individual awards are great, but individual awards don't win you national championships.
It's interesting that you use the word brotherhood. How many times have you been asked about your brothers today?
Oh, yeah. A lot.
Like everybody?
Everybody, yeah.
So what's your, I'm sure you have the answer prepared to give. So what do you say?
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It is a blessing because we never thought that it would be possible to all three be here, with Zach leaving high school early and coming up here and playing with me and West. It's awesome. And I'm enjoying every single second that I get with them, because after this year, West is gone. So it's not going to be the three of us ever again for the rest of our lives. Yeah. Besides that, we get one more semester together.
So just saying that West would be gone after this year would maybe indicate that you plan to come back for a senior year.
Well, I haven't put any thought into that. There's too much focus on where my feet are right now. Yeah. The team we have this season, and I could not be more excited for this season. So I haven't put any thought.
Sorry, the team this season is going to get a lot of hype. I think we'll leave here this week, and most people are going to pick Georgia and Bama and Texas, and then it'll be in that LSU will be in that conversation. By the way, we're never right here anyway. But the expectation for this team is to be a playoff team. Do you all when you're in team meetings, team room, what are those conversations like? I mean, I know Kelly keeps saying 1-0, Clemson 1-0, but are y'all talking national championship?
That's exactly what we're talking, because we know the team that we have this year, and we're confident in the guys that we're going to put out there on the field. I think we have the best roster in college football right now. From top to bottom, we have depth at every position, and dudes are working hard. That's the key behind it all. Is you can have all the talent in the world, but if the talent's not working hard, you're not going to win nothing. And every single day, everybody's in that weight room and on that field putting in countless hours of work, meaningful, intentional work, which I think that's going to be the reason that we're going to get over that hump and win the national championship this year, is how hard our talented guys are working.
Who are some of the talented guys, starting on the defensive side of the ball, that you think, based on what you've seen, are poised to have a really big year?
Well, obviously, I couldn't answer that question without saying Harold Perkins.
Let's go.
I mean, that dude works harder than anybody I've seen. So to see a guy like that who has all the talent in the world, the most athletic ability I've ever seen, sometimes you could get away with not working hard if you're him. But he works hard in everything that he does. He's so intentional about the way that he goes about his work. And it's awesome to see that. And that's why we're going to get over the hump this year, is because we got guys like Perk, your best players, working harder than anybody else.
Now, you didn't get to play against the offense in the spring, but on the offensive side, what or who stood out on that offensive side today? or this spring?
This spring? Oh gosh, the list goes on and on and on. But Nuss, obviously, one first and foremost. I think he's taken that next step as far as what type of player he is. He's obviously a great player, but he's really taken a step in his leadership role and the way that men follow him. Like he's stepped up big time in that role, and that's really exciting to see.
With the new guys, that's probably the people that we're all curious to see how that's gonna start to manifest. Yeah. Who's some of the guys maybe in spring caught your eye, either side of the ball?
The one guy that comes to mind on defense, Deshaun Spears, freshman last year, coming into his sophomore year. That dude can ball. So that's one guy that I'll say he can. That dude will be a top NFL player one day. He has the size, the length, hard work ethic. That dude can ball.
Before you get out of here, I know this day it's a kind of a bit of a war. Did you enjoy this, by the way, doing this whole thing?
Definitely.
Did you really?
Because I've always wanted to do this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like just seeing Will. No, not Will. See guys like Mackay come and do it. Last year, Mason, like seeing them do it, and they all tell me, dude, it's so fun. Just go have fun, be yourself. Perk last year. So I really just come up here, have fun and enjoy the moment.
What did you think based on what your expectation was and how it went?
I thought the SEC crushed it, blew it out of the water. I think this is, ran very organized, and that's what I appreciated.
Did you not have to wear a tie?
No.
Did they give you a choice?
I guess they just said put a suit on, so I put a suit on.
That's a power move too to say, you know what, I'm not wearing a stupid tie. Who needs a necktie? Who? This is a great look.
Yeah.
You know what? I am surprised though. Chris didn't wear sneakers. You're wearing loafers. Why no sneakers?
I feel like this just I don't know. This is every Tiger walk. I always wear these shoes. They're just kind of my lucky shoes. Okay. So I just wear them anytime I put a suit on. I think I like the loafer look a little better.
You're showing off the scar too.
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah.
Do you ever look at that and like just think about the play or the moment or use that? I mean, you got it. You're showing it off there.
Yeah, I mean that is what it is. Yeah. That's football. I mean, we know the risk playing this game, but yeah, I mean it is what it is.
Does your dad have any Georgia Bulldog stuff at his house at all anymore? Anything?
The one thing that he has left is his helmet. I think he got rid of everything else besides his helmet.
Respect. All SEC linebacker, going to be a preseason All-American linebacker. Whit Weeks, good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
AFR.
Brought to you by Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics. ActionIndinc.com. That's where you find them online. You can find them on LinkedIn as well. And one of the things that I tell you often about Action Industries that I really respect the most is Action Industries, they know who they are as a business. They've been around since 1982. So in 42 years, they've really developed a reputation among the petrochemical and refinery markets. And so when it comes to those contractors, these industrial and commercial contractors, like their safety record is exemplary. The work that they do is exceptional, which is why they thrive on repeat business. Well, you don't keep getting hired for 42 years if you're not doing great work. That's Action Industries. But also they know who they are. There's some giant companies that do these mega projects, and they're not going to bid on a $200 million project. But if you have a 100-man job, that's their sweet spot. They're perfect for that. You need to get to know Action Industries. ActionIndinc.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at DecisionCriticalBR.com. Live from the 2025 SEC Football Media Days, powered by Parish Construction and Roofing. Enter now for your chance to win $10,000 cash at parishbuilt.com. Our coverage is also presented by Rev and Relief Windows.
It is my pleasure this week to welcome our new partner on to After Further Review, Our Lady of the Lake. Of course, great partnership as well as the official championship health partner of LSU. When you think who takes care of the LSU athletes, well, it's Our Lady of the Lake and the physicians there. Game-changing care, keeps athletes at their best, builds stronger, healthier Louisiana for all of us at every level. I've told you about my experience throughout my life living in Baton Rouge at Our Lady of the Lake, from volunteering at the Ronald McDonald Playroom to helping raise funds through so many different fundraising efforts for the standalone Children's Hospital to taking my son to see specialists there at Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, to my own personal health. My GP is Dr. Kurt Chastain with Our Lady of the Lake Men's Health. It's good enough for the LSU athletes. It's good enough for me and you, of course. It's Our Lady of the Lake. You can learn more at ololrmc.com/LSU.
All right, putting a button here on Thursday edition of AFR presented by Decision Criticals. Also putting a button on our coverage from SEC Football Media Days. Man, it was a great week across all the shows. I mean, OTB, Hunt Palmer Show, and of course here on AFR, a lot of great guests. I think we all learned a lot about the league as well. And this is just the beginning, right? I mean, look, Matt's going to be back here on Friday, and I'm sure the majority of that first hour is going to be him recapping some things that he learned at SEC Football Media Days that he really couldn't dive too deep in because it's just such a blitz, when you're there, if you could forgive the football pun. But it is. You move in and out so many different people onto the shows and whatnot. It's very fast. It's very furious. It's just it's a taxing event. I mean, how many of the guys you hear today say it's Thursday? They tell me it's Thursday. I don't know, but you don't really have a lot of time to react because you're information gathering the entire time. So there'll be a lot of reaction here in the next few weeks. I mean, football season is here, y'all. Like this is the unofficial start. SEC Media Days now in the rearview mirror. The Saints report to camp next week. LSU reports to camp the week after that, and then you're in preseason games in the NFL, and then LSU will open the season against Clemson. So, I mean, we are absolutely in the thick of it. But great week over there in Atlanta for SEC Football Media Days, as it always is. And it's here. It's great for it to be here, and I think we all learned something. So again, a great thanks to everybody who joined us, of course, over the week. Just today, Chuck Oliver, Chris Gordy, Peter Burns, Josh Pate, David Cohn, Chris Muller, a lot of thanks to them. And throughout the week as well, man, Cole Kublick and Gary Stoken from the Peach Bowl, Jim Nagy, the Oklahoma GM, and of course, the new Senior Bowl executive director as well, hopped aboard. So fantastic week. All right. A little bit housekeeping again for tomorrow's show. There's going to be two giveaways on tomorrow's show. Of course, Terrio and Matt, they're going to give away $10,000 again tomorrow, courtesy of Parish Construction and Roofing. So be here for that. They've been telling you how to enter all week long. And, of course, UFC 318, that is Saturday night in the Smoothie King Center. Dustin the Diamond Poirier, Max Holloway, the trilogy fight. Long time in the making, and looks like it'll be Dustin Poirier's final fight as well. We're giving you a chance to win a pair of tickets. Those come courtesy of Mockler Beverage, great sponsor here on AFR. And, of course, Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the USC. I'm going to tell you right now how to enter to win that pair of tickets to UFC 318. It's real simple. All you do, get your smartphone, text BMF, that's BMF, to 225-396-4400, 225-396-4400. Just texting BMF, that will enter you for a chance to win a pair of tickets to UFC 318. You can be in the number in the Smoothie King Center Saturday night for Poirier Holloway 3. BMF title on the line in that one. It is the main event. And Mockler Beverage, Bud Light, they're looking to give you 2 tickets to be there. Again, text BMF to 225-396-4400. That's Matt's text line. We'll compile all the entries. We'll draw the winner as well on Friday's AFR. So we're feeling generous tomorrow on AFR. $10,000, tickets to UFC 318. What else can we give away? I don't know. Maybe we'll come up with something now and until then. But until then, it's kind of just got to put a button on things. Matt will be back, obviously. As I was talking about him giving away everything, he will be back in the host chair. Everybody will be back, as a matter of fact. Just normal programming and everybody back from Atlanta telling you everything that they learn that's coming on the airwaves here on Friday. So a couple things I'll give you just kind of on the way out, just kind of taking it all in for SEC Football Media Days. I think it was pretty overwhelming, giving the national guys we talked to the love for Garrett Nussmeier that is out there nationally, and people are recognizing that, okay, LSU definitely has the most proven returning quarterback in the league. And while that doesn't make him just the best by default, quarterback returning in the league. It is a reason that a lot of people do like LSU. It was surprising to me how much of the conversation around LSU was around Garrett Nussmeier and not the improvement that you still need to see on defense. There's a lot of people who really love DJ Lagway, and I get that. And I think if I look at Florida and South Carolina side by side, I think Florida actually might have the better opportunity to maybe emerge from that group. I have major concerns about what South Carolina is returning on defense or the lack, actually, of what they're returning on defense, and I think that's going to matter. Each team has a very difficult schedule, but Florida has more back on defense. I love their running game, and obviously many think DJ Lagway will take the next step. And then, man, a lot of people are high on Texas A&M, and I understand why. Like, I get why they're intriguing. I just can't get there because I have to see it. Like I can look at everything and see, okay, Marcel Reed, the stuff they added in the portal at receiver, obviously what you see with Mike Elko, the defensive coach, and they were strong on that side of the ball. Like, I can see all of that, but A&M's got to prove it that they're not just Texas 8-4 or Texas 8-5, and that's going to be a chance that they have to do. All right, guys, that's going to put a button on it here for a Thursday edition of AFR. Thank you for tuning in, and be here tomorrow for more on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. You know, when we talk about Relief Windows every day, I always say windows, doors, siding. And now shutters as well. They do your indoor shutters. Same thing as the windows. Custom made, measured to fit your windows, custom fit for your windows, lifetime warranty on your windows, your shutters. But Brandon, you often hear say their number one product is customer satisfaction. And that's not just a catchy line. That's not a cliche phrase. Have an experience with Relief Windows and you'll understand. They go to the ends of the earth to make sure their customers are thrilled with the work they do. As a matter of fact, Relief Windows never takes $1 from you. You will not, no deposit, no down payment. They take all the risk. They will not take $1 until you're thrilled with the work they do. Who else does that? Only Relief Windows. Check them out online at ReliefWindows.com.